Midofo Rose, Diamond Grand Ray Estate 4, and I'm a miniaji say you. And then Missuma ye land owner, say Ebano land promotions in Quadia, Diamond Grand Ray Estate, ye number 1. Make us say ya promotion air cost of the day. Very huge discount. Yes, and you don't come Dentura, as I say ye 28,000, ye about 22,000. Obey my 18,000, ye about 12,000 Ghana cedis. Omunsasi niya ye genuine, no longer, no litigation. Who pass asia any insuumudia and the insutobre and also to asasi. Intimedia dance say Diamond Grand Ray Estate, ye number 1. Or more payment plan. I will be to mutual and kakra. Promotion where first 10 people ebe to assassin. Ebenya 10 bags of cement, blocks, any free documentation. Won't pay we now pay then. Free one say 0552 487 385. Hello, Midofo Rose, Diamond Grand Ray Estate 4, and I'm a miniaji say you. And then Missuma ye land owner, say Ebano land promotions in Quadia, Diamond Grand Ray Estate, ye number 1. Make us say ya promotion air cost of the day. Very huge discount. Yes, and you don't come Dentura, as I say ye 28,000, ye about 22,000. Obey my 18,000, ye about 12,000 Ghana cedis. Omunsasi niya ye genuine, no longer, no litigation. Who pass asia any insuumudia and the insutobre and also to asasi. Intimedia dance say Diamond Grand Ray Estate, ye number 1. Or more payment plan. I will be to mutual and kakra. Promotion where first 10 people ebe to assassin. Ebenya 10 bags of cement, blocks, any free documentation. Won't pay we now pay then. Free one say 0552 487 385.
ene eya wasana bosom ne da etoso enso won pempem yenu ni eduonu enaimo emre asoso ye the diamond kase ebesom mo ewo diamond television so ye dia seda ebe ma diamond ground real estate and happens diamond ground travel and so diamond ground real estate so wo pass as papa dia na so we weni ebetremu ewo na so ye happens diamond ground travel and so for appointment krata sendiara Baba down won't be shy, Bibiara kama Ediama. When a child quine, I will pass Tabora number 5. On one Diamond TV and a water and croname.
Aseda fabrics FFRO or say South fabric and the boy F4 not to say we to be so at on quite the end of the chat quite our new Macola shopping more inside Honoma. What many Methodist book therefore and the DH anymore. Bora Honum Najo fabrics are F.
After so Ben Light Enterprise was a can near Papa if you was a carbon in the guitar. Opesa was spec kill can ne AF dia and for when the uncle PM or baby for when he ever tremo away Ben Light as ye or a bosoka city light junction.
Golden Touch Beauty Center and one thing in a few was say. For people say a cost when him to say, Bibi Biara a titiwo, ama when him to say, who the union of Fabra, not on treaty and Famau. When I shall quite a new Macola shopping more inside Honoma, who Golden Touch or Bora Honum, not to say, I'm offended intimate to us.
After so now, area so ever my Hajjastley Empire, Sebra, no one sees to with your Enfama, so who hears over more Biastra. Supplements are who grow Ninano, or Beboa, Mawudia Nato, Suna, Ayakama, Upe Hajjastley Empire, Chaquine dear, or Walla Pass, have a Caquina, so the one total filling station, and addition. If then you may quay and anyway, or more air boy, Chitomaya, the diamond Cassier, ever so. Now, Ansana, no my share and Semebedi Cassia Bonimu Akutne. Say I told a fee about dear, a dear me how you know, to bitch away, every man penny and other damn quite a cook for Ado.
Commander Sugar Factory, a quaffo and a name what Fred Abine say won't call more and more.
Aya dear, ye be my ni a Ghana in Puntu, way, every Professor Jane Nana will poku watch mine.
And they are buyable and Yama, why ye Ediama Ghana mine.
Yene summer would be and then you may hear Boabwana, the barber some more our diamond cassia so I can kind for I may. Mouse sick on a minimum yaba.
Fia friend Poma.
Yaba done your home abaya ba, ya de cassia bonnet trouble ever to us. Will be Biara Aquaba Bio Diamond Cassia Su any Afe Cassia Bonin Chemo any. Man Penin and Ado Dankwa a Kufu Ado a pay more casse. Say I 2 December 7th about 20 dia a dia ni haunina at Subicha. What Chiremo say. So a man Ghana ye bedia dance ye papa padia. I idea a Jumanwaya Dayaman ye Nansono. Esan Ghana ye dientin with me Jinan and Nanso Abwa ama Ghana edubia papa is say edu. What is our seminar at Tuja ewo a Ghana's Founders Day Jumediano Ase.
The last time I'm going to preside over this ceremony. I will willingly step down as president on 7th January. And I do so because I'll be in good company. That of Jerry John Rawlings and John Agyekum Kufuor, who in the Fourth Republic have been privileged by the people of Ghana to serve 2 terms as President of the Republic. It has been the greatest honor of my life to have served as President not once but twice, and I have done my best, especially in steering the ship of state through the deeply troubled times of the COVID-19 pandemic and its aftermath. It's been a very difficult time, but I believe most of us can see that we are now turning the corner and returning our economy back to normalcy and revived growth. The growth that made our economy one of the fastest growing economies in the world in the years prior to the outbreak of the COVID pandemic. We did it in the past. We will do it again. The last challenge, the last major challenge for me, is to preside over peaceful and fair elections in December. And that is a commitment that, with the help of all Ghanaians, I intend to realize. The people of Ghana deserve no less than to be given the best atmosphere in which to choose freely their next president and parliament. I intend to ensure that our reputation as the beacon of democracy and stability in Africa and the world is maintained.
Epenifo a wada Assembly of Heads of State ano ewon kran enene wo mehia wo gbobu asumdue ebetimi aba Ghana abato emremu ena afa mpuntunyuma ebetimi aba Ghana.
It's important to note that in 2023 only 3 countries pay their contribution. That means Angola, Ghana, and Equatorial Guinea. So far in 2024, only Angola has paid its contribution. We will lack a permanent headquarters and a director of finance. However, persistent threats such as piracy and environmental degradation require our constant attention. We need to strengthen our cooperation and adopt common policy to respond effectively to these challenges. Since our last summit, we have also made significant progress. The Commission has launched several initiatives to strengthen maritime security, reduce piracy, and fight illegal fishing. Persistent threats such as piracy and environmental degradation require our constant attention. We need to strengthen our cooperation and adopt common policy. We respond effectively to this challenge. In the future, we plan to launch a new initiative to promote the sustainable management of our maritime security.
Distinguished invited guests, ladies and gentlemen, our presence here today underscores our commitment to our collective responsibility to combat the threat we face in the Gulf of Guinea. I am convinced that the quality of our frank discussions and well-intended decisions will draw us closer to achieving the goals of the Commission. Excellencies, I wish to express my profound gratitude to all of you for your time and participation in this important program. I am confident that our collective wisdom and resolve will yield tangible outcomes that will benefit our region and its people. May the Gulf of Guinea continue to be a beacon of hope and progress to Africa and the world. Together, we can build a future for peace, prosperity, and sustainable development.
Yetwa kasi abono sodia na waswafo a wo hwe yen sikasam so onmonyamfo Mohammed Amin Adam edi abetudwa se sayaka Ghana amemwodi a eyade a impumto abemu ye pa esan se every 2020 no eyade a ye na memu no akonenim 0.5%. What is answering to Jawa Bra Wakasa our regional town hall meeting and exhibition Jumedie no ase ewo inkan
suffered as a result of COVID. The economy was growing at a very decent rate, average 7%. And so the 0.5% we recorded in 2020 could not be as a result of bad economic performance. It cannot be as a result of bad economic performance. Because if you look at the period when we did not have COVID, the economy was growing at average 7%. Then after COVID, in 2021, we picked up quickly, growing at 5.1%. From 0.5% to 5.1%. It was a very quick recovery because of the policies the government implemented. But again, in 2022, we face another problem. Russia-Ukraine war. Some people don't want us to mention COVID. They don't want us to even mention Russia-Ukraine war. But how can you assess the performance of an economy without taking into consideration external factors, especially when you are talking about an open economy, small open economy that is heavily dependent on external economies? We import heavily, our forex is influenced by external sources, inflation globally affects us, and so for anybody who understands economy and economic management to suggest that don't talk about COVID, don't talk about Russia-Ukraine war, just talk about what you have done in Ghana, then that person really is not assessing economic performance. That person is assessing something else, but not economic performance.
Chief Justice Onmonyanfo Gertrude Tekuno NNA Wapau 12 special courts say Waba Chichi wana wutu online ekoji besiane so be wiase no na wontua no ene Wapau.
Kasiabon Sodiana, Asante Henny, what 2 4 set or Tosumiano, Atrena Jane, Afagana, Yana, Memoir, and to me, engine and answer no echo. What is some way at UK, Abrachimem, who are Brawane, Ghana to move forward, war, no, and common.
Under my leadership, the best that I can do in relation to developing Ashanti and Ghana, I would continue to do that. I am not a politician. I'm not the keeper of the budget. I don't take decisions on those things. All what I can do is to caution and advise. But as to whether the politician will listen to what I say is also another issue with them, not me. But I'll continue to do my best in the interest of Ghana. And therefore, that's why I think that it is also my responsibility to make sure that I also am able to generate investments, to talk to people who would appreciate and understand that we have to build our country together. And therefore, let's join forces, because agriculture, for example, is the mainstay of the economy, but there's no funding there for that. The local banks don't have the money to invest in there. They look at 90-day short-term loans. Under my leadership, the best that I can do in relation to developing Ashanti and Ghana, I would continue to do that. I am not a politician. I'm not the keeper of the budget. I don't take decisions on those things. All what I can do is to caution and advise. But as to whether the politician will listen to what I say is also another issue with them, not me. But I'll continue to do my best in the interest of Ghana. And therefore, that's why I think that it is also my responsibility to make sure that I also am able to generate investments, to talk to people who would appreciate and understand that we have to build our country together. And therefore, let's join forces, because agriculture, for example, is the mainstay of the economy, but there's no funding there for that. The local banks don't have the money to invest in there. They look at 90-day short-term loans. Agriculture needs investments in that area. Adding value to industrialization, for example, those are areas that we can do, but we don't have the resources for that. And therefore, if we don't create these avenues for employment to ginger the economy, we still will have people unemployed. And I'm afraid I have so many graduates who have finished university and still don't have work to do. So 25 years is gone. The years ahead of us, we still have to be planning for that.
And what Asante no 2 say to etwa so echere say obetre kunya so chemudie na se no omampanyin dada John.
And this is why I believe everybody wants to celebrate you on this silver jubilee of your reign. We pray that the good Lord would favor you with more life, more service to people. Continue to be.
Chief Justice Onmonyanfo Gertrude Tekuno and then Neiwa Pau 12 Special Quarter. Just say Eba Bechi Woma, or Mutu or Munai Ekote Besia, the baby Asiano, Neso Mupeso Mubitia.
Engagements between the judicial service and the leadership of now bills, formerly Quick Credit and Investment Microcredit Limited, and in the true spirit of public-private partnership for the promotion of the ends of justice, a solution was designed, and it is this solution that has found expression in this afternoon's event here at the District Court, La. The small claims and debt recovery courts, which will initially operate on a pilot basis, would cover a total of 12 courts, 8 in the Greater Accra region and 4 in Ashanti region. The courts will sit every working day in the afternoons and on Saturdays. The courts will sit from 2 p.m. to 8 p.m. on working days and 8:30 a.m. to 4 p.m. on Saturdays. For the Greater Accra region, District Court, Ashama District Court, Teshi District Court, Kasua, and this court, District Court Law, they will operate as a Saturday courts, while District Court Wager, District Court Soutum, District Court 2 Adenta, and District Court Bese will operate as a weekday afternoon courts. For the Ashanti region, District Court 2 Asokwa and District Court 1 Prempeh Assembly Hall will operate as a Saturday courts, while Circuit Court 2 Asokwa and Asokwa Circuit Court Conference Hall will operate as a weekday afternoon courts.
I want to start by actually indicating that Her Ladyship, the Chief Justice of the Republic of Ghana, have done tremendously well. You see, this is a clear classical case of public-private sector partnership. I think that when the private sector and the public sector come together to solve the needs of society, the society at large and the people of Ghana are those that will win. So as a company, over the years, there has been tremendous growth in the demand for our products and services. So such a court that has been set up today is welcome by Bills. For us at Bills, we think that it is something that is in the right direction.
Wonyamia dom amen ne abai etimi abobo enwuma kesi a waye edi ama Ghana ewo wonhiem dia wohiem ewo town hall eni.
That we believe after 7.5 years of the mandate given to the President of the Republic, Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo, the Vice President of the Republic, Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia, it is now important that beyond the discussions, we bring you the updates, real-time updates as to the various projects that we've done in the municipalities and in the districts. This is the reason why, for us at the Ministry of Information, we deemed it very important that we collaborate with our key stakeholders and go to the various regional capitals and show what government has achieved over the period. After here, we will move to other regions. It's our intention that from now to 12 November 2024, we will go to every regional capital in the country, have conversations with the people in the languages that they understand.
We have 29 assemblies, 2 metros, Tema and Accra, 4 districts. We all know the Pukwase interchange, the 4th year that we drive going to Gan West on our way to Nsawam. We also know of the Bortema, either to School Junction and Maijo, through Bortema to connect to the motorway. You go to Lekma Road. Now, when you look at the Tema Beach Road, all the way from Tema, then to the Nungwa barrier, where the interchange is ongoing, the Obechebilamte interchange, it's also progressing steadily, and is all going to contribute to ease traffic congestion on that stretch. We have an asphalt overlay in La Nkwantana Medina, Ayawaso, Adentang, and Ablekuma. Akoteman Road, asphalted. Otano School Junction, Roman Reach, Sowutum, and the Speeders Road interchange development. The University of Ghana Sports Complex, then the Borteman Complex. There are so many AstroTurf. When you go to Temamahia, and the educational complex. Kwabenya, we have a kindergarten school. New Century Technical Institute in Dansoman. Accra High STEM Center. Wager STEM Senior High. Machinery Institute at East Legon. And recently, the Kayaye hosted complex that was used to throw them into employable skills in both in Medina and Ashaiman. And the housing infrastructure, a 32 units housing project for the police administration at Tesano. 320, yes, I said. But there was a big one, earlier one in Gaist for the police administration as part of the housing infrastructure for the security.
Running mate, Adama NDC, Amanyokono, Professor Jen Nana Wopoku Ajimai, Achomuse, Sawaman Ghana, yet me a boy on Humodena Afi, yet to Abama NDC, Amanyokono dia, dia, Amanyokono Ebama Wodeni, Ako, a year, Yenumpuntu, a Hunye Papa. While the Sansa Mina etu ja wabra within a campaign a pro bono, a copiemo, a infinitely mansem.
So ye meja, so ye mena, so ye me madam for Mesrao. Nya botrena kotu abani ye. Wa kotu a obi betu ama. Na otoma wono na sise ne beba. Wonso mira wo enisa wonso betu abani ye. Na asisa sebre no. Enya ama wo ko ama omai no. No omai no asumdue abam. No omai no sise papa abam. No omai no asumdue abam. Ezbe ba ha no ma nyelu. Kase yo ma me ya mansolo. Na and so on. Only maybe I am the and so on. Over to more than I am so on. I don't know any but the master was so. When you listen to me, I am a saw, and I am. And try and then it's the 80s grandparents told me. Yes, Obian said, as in telling but they are told no ma. Why ye be dying? Once as I have been stronghold and tell the company not there for the Yazaba. You say, for the Yazaba. What I have found there, you can. Yes, the end too many Akada, was a come and in a man opening him, Louis. There's armor, no matter Yana, no, there's the answer. Was the Yazamon, a put them or shadow far. As the Bibia, Amo and Sobiano, a one way in here. Obia Bafadubi. The hospital way in the air. Obia to me for Kadi, I am sure. Lemonoti. One got a walk with the Obu. One could do only a corner that one. There's a 4 million to your move. As a matter below. In the air, swam a young Radon Ramani Mahamano. Wow, Ankonto wa beni ya. Obayasam. Yempedo yasam.
Member of Parliament Emma North Tong Onmonyan for Samuel Okujeto Ablokwa NNA Wode and Sembi to Abayanim say Woma Modiano Nya Sikapudu award to Ewo ambulance spare part on eno.
The Minority Caucus in Parliament demands that President Akufo-Addo should instruct his Chief of Staff, the Honorable Freema Opare, to desist from mounting pressure on the Ministers of Health and Finance to make unlawful payments to Service Ghana Auto Group Limited. I know Chief of Staff, she wants to be in the good book of the President. Let me help the President's daughters and their business partners. As for this one, it's the Ministry of Health statement that exposed the Chief of Staff. Chief of Staff, we now know what you are doing behind the scenes. You are mounting pressure on the ministers. When you read this statement, paragraph 8 of this statement, the Ministry of Health statement, you see how the National Health Insurance Authority, they are afraid. Let me read it to you. The NHI, in correspondence with the Ministry of Health and Ministry of Finance, stated that it was unable to fund the cost of the procurement of the spare parts as part of the 10% allocation to the Ministry of Health because this was not captured in the allocation formula approved by Parliament. You see, the officials at the National Health Insurance Authority, they don't want to go to jail. They are afraid. So they told the Minister of Finance, Minister of Health, that, hey, this temptation you are leading us into, we beg you, Chief of Staff, we know that they are these are big daughters, presidential daughters and their partners. But we beg you, we don't have approval. And we have all the NHI formula here, the health committee members are here. No approval. And Chief of Staff, you know that. And yet you are mounting pressure behind the scenes. We are demanding that President Akufo-Addo should instruct his Chief of Staff to stop this unlawful pressure on ministers. Finally, our third demand, we are urging the Office of the Special Prosecutor to expedite investigations and prosecutions into this putrefying scandal. We note that the Office of the Special Prosecutor has opened investigations. They have come to interview us. We have made documents available to them. But we want them to expedite action. So far, there has been no communication that this deal has been stopped. $10 million already approved is gone. $24.9 million outstanding. The OSP must act fast.
Minister for Information, Olmonyanko Fatimatu Abubakar, and I was Regana Ponina says, Sankebeya, one bomb and Penina and the Janko Ekufado, and then I buy no Abasuye Papa, a son say, I got one answer in my itchy or one happened.
Point in time where I had an interview, a press conference here with the former gender minister, Cynthia Morrison, and saw how she was so passionate about the passage of the law. At any point in time that even in cabinet, it moved from the committee, the subcommittee to the plenary. If some stakeholders came to say, we want to effect some changes, so you have to withdraw it. She came back to the public. I remember I've seen some of her interviews on some media platforms that this particular set of people have come, that they have changed their minds. They want to make some correction to these proposals that they brought on board. But we are patient because we want to take everybody's views into consideration so that when it is passed, there will be consensus around the table. And when she left, successive ministers also took it up strongly, and they have pushed it. Today we've passed it into law. I saw the draft women's manifesto as far back as 2010. Every woman should be excited that there is at least blueprints for what should be done in the space of gender. And I always say that when we talk about equity, it's not any law that is coming to take all powers from men and give it to women. No, that is not about it. But also to look at areas where there are disadvantages, areas where there are gender biases, and see how best we can bring parity. So I'm excited that in terms of leadership, representation, and everywhere, we are going to resolve some of these challenges so that the representation of women will actually reflect the population dynamics of Ghana, knowing that half of our population are women. And we are grateful to the President of the Republic, Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo, because he was co-chair, he was also awarded as a gender champion, and personally, I know at every table he has advocated strongly that we put the legal framework in place to ensure that there is gender parity in the country. So I'm not surprised that, as always, all the laws that we thought will never be passed are passed under him, so that we can progress from here.
Minister for Local Government, Decentralization and Rural Development, Onmonyanfo Martin Ejaymensa Kosa, NNA, what the one in a more dimpa eko ama estate developers in say, one ya dan wo sisi e wo Fanko Forest Reserve nesto, and yes, I didn't saka one no mubedi no.
Pa almost habrawi, Sananka has a sino cry and Lydia. And I want ton her. Aton ha ya kan fifi ya ban dia ha entibi masuma ni ye it's all say adan wo ha wo be si de wo ha entibi sremo we eye tie so obi aba so be ya ye be chi no sa oya ni patinti o ni patie tia o ni pakese o ni padien o ye be chi no me mama sa oda no untumi emefa omai kwan enkotom so obi nsi dan enti akachiro mu na nipa na pa hosam na no mehya se no hwade enti de mekati nyina ne se nisramo maye fa manyose mu wura na wo wonya bia ma wase abɔ no kro no wo be fa kwan ne de ato ama obi abesi dan wati bi da ti nisramo we ebeye tietia emma so ne emma so chi
yatra hanum emre mfie bebre ni na no kreni ekwan a wo hu e wo ha nyina eye ekwan ya ban eye ato honom by be na wo twe ni na chiri kakra ni eni hu se croford machine be kwan ne so omoyi ba koto kakra be to ben nifa so no moyi kakra to benkum so yetietie mu am se ne tintin tietie nyina ne so mo pese o moton mfremfrem no e de my estate developer bi tino kreni yeti o man mu ye nyina nim se eduru ba bia ye yi kwan ba ye hwese ne aban ebre o compensation hu eti no ye nim se ye kwan da honom no ye ntimi trance e ma obi mama mefa anas obi enton eni tine wasi etu anamon enti na ne me to nsafre local government minister ne MCE eni penifo ye ma mu media so so te yese momra na madaroma ye nyina ye mfa ye ni enhwe se ekwan da honom no se eton na eyeyi a ye nyina na ye nimsam enti yasem nyina ne se penifo for Nancy form se be ya anamon mo pese o mutu de ton kwan no enti ni ema so
ye hu hwe kopin se edan no omoma so a afedi omasi dan na awie ede air condition no no nyina aba a chie so ye hu se omo san adwi kwan no asan azida atoato so ana na nyame adaroma akoduru ejira minister ene local government minister elima omotua na mo wo ho tie ni ye se aban betie ye na edan na mo sisi a sabre ye nya kwan ko ye fie omo be yi dan nyina firo na nya kwan akoye fie
Yeba home kasia bonusu na yakwaji abuafo inkrakto abayeba yeba to
Adolfo Rose, Diamond Grand Ray Estate 4, and I'm a meniaji say you. And then Missuma ye land owner, say Ebano Land Promotions in Quadia, Diamond Grand Ray Estate, ye number 1. Make us say ya promotion air cost of the day. Very huge discount. Yes, and you don't come me. Dentura, as I say, ye 28,000, ye about 22,000. Obey my 18,000, ye about 12,000 Ghana cedis. Amon Sassinia ye genuine, no longer, no litigation. Who pass us here any Sumudia, and the Sutobri, and also to Assassi. Intimedia dance say, Diamond Grand Ray Estate, ye number 1, or more payment plan. I will bet mutual and kakra. Promotion we first 10 people ebe to assassin. Ebenya 10 bags of cement, blocks, any free documentation. Won't pay we now pay then. Free one see 0552 487 385.
Mindful, where you the mamu. Aha, Bell Light Enterprise. I was so kind City Light Junction. You know, maybe I do Mujuma, tail light, headlight, front and back bumpers, front grill, down grill. There's also on side light no travigators. There's on fog light and so. Either light, a spec light, a charger, a normal, a American type, a Japan type. China, Nina, your party now of the Light Enterprise. Radio trauma, some beba abuso kind City Light Junction, mother should share the Light Enterprise, Namuni Dijuma. Tilia, the one on person to do door, no one can some so. You will also sacrifice, I have to your mama. I had the man for person moon too. No more cotton. Yes, answer delivery nationwide. Say a Priscial, a Kumasi, a Takrade, a North, a Taka, a Honina, delivery ma. I did be a person fan spare to car. Your shame, say, only the Light Enterprise about Bedi Juma. Your special discount via Yama Diamond TV Ashafonina. Into fair numbers to now cast off a number no Diamond TV. Your special discounts via your Tisudma. Your shame sounded the Light Enterprise by the Yojuba. The Light Enterprise, your satisfaction is our priority.
So, Ben Light Enterprise, a trap find dia so kind City Light Junction Honoma, and I so bit me a friend penny for 0247 888591 and 0245 966 186. 0599 640 186 and now 0530 122 484. Ben Light Enterprise Sebra. Na inspect your car and farm out.
Diamond Cassia Su Wenye, Ape, yes, Cassia Bono Aso. 2022 Ghana Demographic and Vote Survey, I trying to say GDHS, I am Shishu, I want to get better to just say, I am in more frank to I, who won, I want him was swimming in Sian, no wɔn ɛnhyɛ da ɛnya nufunso ɛnum ɛnu nti no ɛde wɔ how pii abrɛ wɔ.
Must all come together and support our women to continue to give this life-saving productivity, increasing food to our babies. Ladies and gentlemen, we have made some marginal improvements in our breastfeeding indicators, with initiation of breastfeeding within the first hour moving up from 52% to 58%, and our exclusive breastfeeding increasing from 52% to 53.1%, according to the recent Ghana Health Demographic and Health Survey. However, we as a nation are nowhere near our target, as we are aiming for over 70% achievement in both indicators. Our collective efforts are required to move these indicators forward. We as a service are working hard to improve our staff competencies to provide the right information and support all pregnant women during antenatal care and delivery, as well as post-discharge support.
Inti bese me share about tiny crime say nufuso de yo inti fama wo ba no edikan ebebo ne ho ban efi enyarewa ho say abofra ne yemu ehwie kakra na oyare ni nyina no wona ne tonkwanta mapai wontai ehun sa yare no wo ba ne mu e na behu say onyi ne so ne weight no wo ko clinic na say ye weight na ye de to ye graph no so behu say onyi nkama inti weight ne nye kese say onye obese baby ne weight ne ye kama e na wankasa maame no so na wo ma enufo ma oba na enufo no nso no e wo benefit nso de ma wankasa maame no nso. The first 6 months exclusive breastfeeding no ebo ho ban efi nyinsan entem ho ene e very very important. And another one so no say enufo na wo de ma abofra ma onum no, the act of breastfeeding no and also emma protection ewo kokram yade a e ka enufo no any other organs of the reproductive system ye ovaries no I know ehye awodi ni ma wonfa weni emfem hu no nti emfaso wo so ma wo ba emfaso wo so ede ma wo maame no ena sa wo ba ebusia no nso mo faso mbenya ne se sika no eda ho because enifusio no ena wo de ma abofra nti first 6 months no wo mboka nti kan da wo te ebusia no nso sikasem no nso no ebo mo ho ban.
Ekwafo a wodua hwede e Central Region ene wo to onsa afre aban se wo momodia embeto ane bosha wo share wo mo efa Commander Sugar Factory no eho.
Asam papa na ebi se na eya na oya roho ye fail as a country. We say the factory we see wabo 8 years. Ina ye rehwede aban obobua and the policy ya elikin ampa mala me ya farmer sisi ya yapuna me no bokwa ma hwere mu sisi ya ena planting for food and job one kada with him a businessman what's with him a farmer na with the kenyan hone inju adewa na ede hone adibiala waye na me ya farming na nka wode say planting for food and job ne bibi wo ho a o de musumu ku bi miti me feel it but sisi ayin ye o he bia by attest to rate there and ya de yen saka bibia no kire there aban as the planting for food and job bi as aba enye ahwere nkotin mpo ne mudua mo okubie mo wo banchi mo wo abe mo wo a whole lot e buro na ya mo wo no ya abo enso minye assistance bialing fee abani nimpa bia ho whatsoever there men fan support mo ho meku ya na meku dwuma meye na mo yina mo wo panchi mo wo nkokọ mo wo a whole lot ewa enti ma adun for me wo kwa me fa me kase sisi amo ahwero sisi abo be wo kase utwa me ayi kwa me be 20 charges sisi alo so be kwa wa sa si si be ne bi ti yo wa gana ya wa sa si be tu ye du ahwera onye you tu ye du ahwera bi wa ha factory ye tu ye de feeding now try that man the incident car about you no mama yen adwen the commander na sent in there factory is who first can you trade the our crowd this factory see am aban wate aban osisa na adwen edi medi yala osisa na adwen edi medi yala na
kwaku ya wakoma
e be home kasi abono so na yakwaji aboafo nkraso abaye ba agudie mu nsam abeto aso.
Abusia mama kwaba na memfa agudimo ensem eretwa Diamond Kaseno so na metiama ande enwure meeting ede dankwa aije dakon kwapene de sabri die na mikopiemo enso former Blaster head coach no so abodjuma adema Ghana yembo bono meche owura Didi Dramani ensem kaka adabatuja onum se ket senior koku football Ghana and I say Ghana Football Association President Ebra and a KGL a call a pam na Sabinsono Yenu Kuma Omobo under 17 at the tournament to be at me as a tournament no a dear Abua Poche say Abua ama Marantia Omosimo and so Ebano experience no a dear with me Akuipa.
Many of them who can even play in the Premiership, you know, you see, it's all about, you know, as I started by speaking about the DNA and then the structures that have been put in place. If you have a clear structure when it comes to development, then the young, you heard about the Yamal and others, right? Yeah. And everybody was announcing that he got 17 in the tournament. But in terms of experiences, his experience, because he's played in the Champions League, he's played in many La Liga games. And before even showcasing him, he's played a lot of games. So the many games that youth players go through are what
Yera Didi Dramani and Otene can start the no communina at the Abekemo, Afe Yonko Piemo, and so a year Kumasemeche, Ashanti Regina, a year Omo Director, Edma NSC Ura, the Dean, and so Bois Amabianso Timiko, a Ura Kwame Ban. Eden Simbina Atuja Efa Babaya Sports Stadium and Day CAF and Penny Ajatum say AFCON Baso 2025 our Morocco our my Ghana qualification yehe na yede Angola etime Arabantan so much September yemono pitch no na ha dwen pa adebete bonsane bia beje na omode ye enema ebe wiase na pitch no enye kra enti omohwe atoto nyama sene be nyama nyina ebetime jana na so.
I believe Baba Yara shouldn't be a concern to anyone, especially respecting the fact that we are all in it. We know the passion of the nation and we wouldn't want to belittle anyone or take any stakeholder for granted. But the point is, yes, we do these events occasionally to beef up our resource base to maintain the facility. Okay. And so we are saying that we are on the grounds, we will continue to do our work. We'll continue to maintain and fix everything possible to ensure that the stadium is generally ready for all competition. A lot of videos on the social media, you know, and I have tasked my IT department to do a before, during, and after video and pictures of the stadium. And at the end of the day, we'll come back to say that yes, prudently, we have managed the little resources you want to hear about from the Kumui program. And at the same time, we have been able to cater for our water bill,
Na mevremo so club issues kakra na young apostle Sabri Enchekra Ghana Premier League omo eba bevremo na fi omo toto enyama na omo director run din Eddie Peter upon akyerem se oya brante na se opeso bevremo awo ne team ne dia hwe se wawo ba ko ana mienu dia onye fit to ono ne team ne mo pemrante ho etisi ho so amoja no ye adwuma enye se wakọ ba ko mienu na baba betete no mere otena sei enne sei yengu tv na emre sisia
yere ebi wo ma ubam na ba wo problem na wo bai 27 years o ma me ye mienu na information kura che se o yere nyam no me fa onko ana nti bi ente so ka chem se me fa akukudan ene de ene of late no 1-2 football young boys no yere bibio timbo o ye team e qualify ya eni team e qualify ya kwa bank so no ye mix 10 players from our squad me nkofa obia nyema ye mi na yere nyema wo 27 years na me nkoto no ba nkoba na all blast dabi nti wo nkora na mabugo mu di no omu nyina bia star enti dabi e yefuo no edoso omu sukwa na me nya wo faso na sa akukudanfo na o se me nkofa na die manya nto because 27 years.
All right, anyway, Era Peter, also ba young apostle omo penny and as a director Erin Semenya Atuja na yebromu awamana ne nsemdia andra yehwe dia club friendly matches ni bi 8 course so Chelsea and Real Madrid ebo mo 2-1 and Chelsea lose Barcelona and AC Milan able 2-2 draw Sansora and enre Akichin etnafie and I say Kiachi etnafie Atletico de Madrid ebo ne kan ensia or taken back on Sanso and Nantes and Laurent ebo 1-1 draw ho Frankfurt etnafie ama Frankfurt seniors no ebo mo kan num na omo taken mieno multiplier 1 Sanso and Motgies and so 1 Deportivo Alaves and SD Huzaka ebo 1 draw Sanso na ne uroma se Arsenal at a Bayer Leverkusen ebo no kano 9 amo taken back on PSG and so call away Echo Romo and a ball by name Storm Grass about 2-2 draw and so Getafe as a Saint Etienne a Kaba first half at Miako Aston Villa and the Atletico Club about 1 draw 28 minutes and as Sakins in a good circle so Cadiz and repetitions will be and send young Inter Milan at Tenafima Al-Ittihad Saudi Arabia as or Kanabako 29 minutes and a go on about 28 minutes Southampton any Lazio etimia won transfer Southampton after cannot back on na on transfer issues and abatuja anyway manfabi emromodia na yenko pmo and so wo and they abrantia and the juma yeso ni polisa fato so mamana yenhwe senaj bede no so esifa eko aha and we abrantia and din Eric Dominic Solanke osina kan edema Botmont yes I didn't know about to just say Tottenham so many Abranton Juma abebo ye papa and Tottenham interest I bomb Abranton the Dominic Solanke Samson Saudi Arabia and I to Dubai any the Abranton the Eric Zuma and Kano Sinakan Edema Chelsea and they were or Western United and in Uroma na biam so timako na Conor Gallagher I Abrantia Sinakan Edema Chelsea and they make us and enumere dia Abranti bebu na katem na anase wotu kwan akọ Atletico de Madrid na fi wetima kwa yen medicals ntine Conor Gallagher na se mekasi anonam kwanso akọ Madrid no ne Atletico Madrid akọ wiewie na medicals nya etimi abaso mejina so na mere agudie mboso nyina esi edama awo Diamond kasi eso mesori na menuanom ema erikase nyina ebewie mitin ede dankwa Isaac Dankwa.
ma wo bibiara akwa babiom diamond kase so enye na aha ene brebe ma ye kwan na ye de kase bonyi nyina ebeba ne wieye ansa ne ye bekọ no ma ye fasida ma diamond ground real estate diamond ground travel and so it can say mo boy ye chidom papa aseda fabrics so efrefre was sebra na beto fabrics are efe na efo afen so Ben Light Enterprise or Sinkania papa FA open a chair kwan dia or aboso kan City Light Junction Golden Touch Beauty Center and so efrefre was say wenim na pimples egu no bra na untwiti e fama ye ka kwa mu no na ye dia seda ebe ma Hagia Slay Empire wono so say we dia atete apansam yina wosiesie eye ne kama saa nyuma koyi na ene enyume wo mo so ya sene a ye de eye diamond kase ebe so mo akenkan fo eye me ma o sekwanya mini menu aba afia frempama yakra
to them, at to be there, go chill. Now we aim for one listen. Money no so anchor then. Integrate Jawa Boko, Roman father so I then. I will buy some girl. One woman be so anchor then. One brother my head in the bed. More the prison so on ye then. Naked men in Palia, and you win me a you. Baby, baby, ne do tinta. Nada when I'm here so. Feel so be now, why? Baby, ne do so no deepo. It's what they to done. What will be no need on the inside? Obisu want to muado. See, they be all other than Yamia safe. It's a 1 power, Dina, be mother macho so I then. Obinya wayo, obide susinu udipo. Obinya wayo, obide susinu udipo. Obinya wayo, obide susinu udi. Obinya wayo, obide susinu udi. Abelipo. Kade tilapia say eagle jamon ya we young with their sub and swimming. I will see your best to move on to the next. Will pass, forget or till then you happy yourself. Yeah, your mates are making money, building mansions. Your mates are getting married.
Oh, you true.
Who made TV about them? Could be we will marry. I believe I being buried.
Understand?
You pay the sebi cost 37 so be so much. And they can't forget a koto Sunday you poke on you do be a better susuka. Nkwano be best or since you got out. No will hurt you and I are lucky. Obinya wayo, obide susuru dipo. Obinya wayo, obide susuru dipo. Obinya wayo, obide susuru di. Obinya wayo, obide susuru dipo.